Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I am reading a lot of books today because I feel like this day is very important, and there are a lot of people that make this day important for us. So, today we have been reading about Martin Luther King and about Rosa Parks, and I also want to tell you about Jackie Robinson. Now, before I do this, we want to play our game of Who's Watching? Here we have Porter and Lucy. I hope that you have fun listening to the channel, and I just want to say, I'm glad that you're here. Now, Porter, do you like playing sports? I am going to tell you about somebody that is really good at a lot of sports, and that was young Jackie Robinson. Now, this man was one of the first black players to play on this baseball team. But I shouldn't tell you that because it will ruin the surprise of the book. So, we're going to read young Jackie Robinson, and he is the pillar of responsibility in the Character Counts books. Now, this is by Edward Ferrell and illustrated by Dennis Stewart. Jackie Robinson was the first black man to play Major League Baseball. He opened doors for many other black players. When you watch sports, do you see how many players are black? There's a lot. But it didn't used to be that way. It for sure was not that way before Jackie Robinson. Jackie was born in Georgia, 1919. His parents were very poor. They already had 4 children to feed. Jackie was just a baby when his mother took her children to California. There wasn't much money to go around, but there was a lot of love. That's more important than the money, isn't it? As Jackie grew up, he discovered there was a lot of conflict between blacks and whites. There was even a law that said blacks could not swim in the town pool with the white children. Jackie was angry at being treated unfairly, but he knew that fighting with his fists would only make things worse. Instead, Jackie fought back by being the best athlete he could. We're learning a lot about the different ways of fighting, aren't we? We're learning about the non-violent way of getting the things changed that we want to. In high school, Jackie was a star athlete. No one played as hard as he did. When Jackie went to college, he was one of the best athletes in the country. Baseball, basketball, football, track. Jackie starred in them all. Isn't that amazing? He didn't just play baseball. He was really good at all of the sports. In 1941, America entered World War II. Jackie joined the army, but he hurt his ankle and couldn't fight. Instead, he trained troops. Can you see him over here? He's the trainer. After the war ended, Jackie joined the Kansas City Monarchs. They were a Negro American Baseball League team. The Monarchs played great baseball. But Negro League baseball players were not paid well. They traveled in colored-only sections of buses and trains. They had to stay in run-down hotels and could eat only in certain restaurants. In 1945, Jackie met a man named Branch Rickey. Rickey was the president of a Major League Baseball team called the Brooklyn Dodgers. Rickey wanted to open up the major leagues to black players, but he knew his first black player would have to be strong enough not to fight with every person who insulted him. He knew that it was going to be hard. It was not going to be easy to be the first black player on a white team. Jackie Robinson was the man Rickey was looking for. He asked Jackie to join the Montreal Royals. They were a minor league team owned by the Dodgers. Jackie said yes. Jackie played hard for the Royals. He helped them with the championship, but not all people liked him. In 1947, Jackie joined the Brooklyn Dodgers. He was in the major leagues. But things did not get any easier for Jackie. 2 Dodgers asked to be traded to a different team. They did not want to play with a black man. Isn't that sad? He was such a good player, but just because of the color of his skin, they didn't want to play with him. Other players tried to hurt Jackie during games, and the fans often shouted terrible things at him. Jackie fought back the way he always had. He played the best baseball he could. In his first year, Jackie stole more bases than any other player. The Dodgers won the National League Championship, and Jackie was named Rookie of the Year. In 1949, Jackie was voted the most valuable player. It was a great honor. It's a big deal when you get the MVP. Jackie played with the Dodgers for 10 years. He helped them win 6 National League titles and 1 World Series. In 1957, Jackie left baseball. In 1962, he became the first black man elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. As he got older, Jackie became very sick, but he still worked hard to help black people. In 1972, Jackie Robinson died, but he will always be remembered as the man whose courage and talent changed baseball and America forever. And he changed all the other sports, didn't he? Well, thank you so much for coming, and I know that this book is about a baseball player, and the other book was about an older woman, but now I want you to come right back, because our final book today is about a young girl and the way she lived. Do you see right up here? It's the story of Ruby Bridges. So I hope you'll come back for our last and final book of our Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Thanks so much for being here. See you soon.